Introduction of English Supplementary, the second text of your English curriculum. There are three texts to be precise. English Honeysuckle, which is the main course. Then you have A Tale of Two Birds, which is from English Supplementary. There are around 10-12 lessons here, 10 to be precise. And then we have English Grammar. Alright. So before we begin, I would like to give you a brief preface. The name of the lesson, as you can see here, is A Tale of Two Birds. We'll be reading about two birds which get separated after birth due to some reason, and the way they turn out to be as time passes by. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll take you to my mobile screen to make the explanation easy and lucid. Okay, so as I was saying, the name of the lesson is A Tale of Two Birds. Okay, as the first lesson of your English supplementary text. Now before we read, I would like to give you a brief preface. This is the story of two birds, like I said in introduction, will be separated. Those are siblings, alright. Sibling isn't a term which we basically associate with birds and all, but then to make a clear idea, to give you a clear understanding of what is ahead, these two birds will be separated. Alright, so let's begin without any further delay. Here it is. Sorry for that, just hold on. So mother bird and her two young ones lived in a forest. Where did they live? They lived in a forest. We all know what forest is. The mother was killed in a storm. Okay, there was this heavy storm. You know what storm is, right? Where wind blows violently. So this mother bird was killed in a storm. Okay, she was killed in a storm. Alright. And the young birds were separated from each other. As the mother died in a violent storm, the young birds were separated from each other. Okay. Each found a different home. Okay. So the homes these two birds found after their mother died were quite different, starkly different from each other. And the house where they lived will play a major role in shaping their character and the kind of personality they will develop as they grow. Okay, so as we read along, we'll understand more. Let's continue. There once lived a bird. So I've started reading. There once lived a bird and her two newborn babies in a forest. They had a nest in a tall shady tree, and there the mother bird took care of her little ones day and night. Clear? The mother bird took care of her little babies day and night. Okay. So, a mother bird, just give me a moment. A mother bird and her two newborn babies, they lived in a forest. Okay. And their nest was in a huge tall shady tree, a tree large enough to cast shadow. Clear? And there the mother bird took care of her little ones day and night. So she was very dedicated mother. She used to take great care of her children day and night. Clear? This mother bird. So one day there was a big storm. There was a massive storm. One day there was thunder, lightning and rain. You know lightning, right? thunder or loud sound, you know, that dis- that is usually heard when there is a disturbed weather. Okay, before, after, or during heavy rains, followed by lightning, where there is this flash of light appearing in the sky. Clear? So let me continue reading second paragraph now. So just give me a moment. Let me set my highlighter. So one day there was a big storm. What kind of storm was there? Big, massive storm. There was thunder, lightning, and rain. I've explained you what thunder, what lightning, and rain is. And wind blew down many trees. Clear? Many trees were blown down here and there. Okay, they fell like tiny sticks. Because when thunderstorm strikes, it violently strikes with great wind speed. And when there is this violent, heavy wind speed, things cannot last longer. Okay, trees are uprooted. Alright. So due to this violent storm, many trees were uprooted. Okay, and one of the uprooted trees definitely would include the tree in which this mother bird and her two babies built their nest. Okay, a last for them. Okay, the tall tree in which the bird lived also came down. Here it is. The tall tree in which the three birds lived, the mother bird and her two babies, came down. Clear? It fell down. A big heavy branch hit the nest and killed the bird. See, it's a tragic story. A big heavy branch, what happened? What did it do? It hit the nest and killed the bird. Which bird? The mother bird. Clear? Fortunately for the baby birds, the strong wind blew them away to the other side of the forest. As far as the baby birds are concerned, they did not die. The wind was so strong that they were blown away to the other side, but unfortunately for the mother, she got hit by a heavy branch of the tree. Tree, is usually made up of, not usually, trees are made up of thick, heavy roots. So one strong branch fell upon the body of the mother bird and she died. Clear? So now getting back to the baby birds, they were blown away to the other side of the forest, fortunately for them. So now what happened to them after they were blown away to the other side of the forest? Let's find out. I'll read. One of them, we are here. One of them came down near a cave where a gang of robbers live. Robbers, bad people. Usually they loot and then they steal things from people without their consent or without them willing to give away their things. Okay. So one of the birds came near a camp where a gang of robbers live. And what happened to the other bird? The other landed outside a Rishi's ashram, a little distance away. You all know what Rishi is, right? Sage Sadhu, a man full of knowledge, wisdom. Okay, and robbers, basically bad people. Okay, so they have given this picture for you to understand, for illustration. See, this you can consider as the tree. Okay, heavy wind blew and then this tree was uprooted. Let's say something like this, and mama bird must be somewhere here, and she got hit by one of the strong branches and she died on the spot. Okay, while the other two birds, they blew away somewhere. Okay, here it is. You can see the picture itself is a scene of what? Disruption. Is a scene of what? Disruption. It shows as if something violent has happened, right? So let us continue. So now days passed. I've started reading, alright? We are here. Days passed and the baby birds became big birds. They have grown up like human beings also. As days, months and years pass, we grow up, right? So days passed and the baby birds became big birds. One day the king of the country came to the forest to hunt. Kings, kings, they love hunting. So he also followed suit and came to the forest for hunting. He saw a deer and rode after it. Okay, the king saw a deer and rode after it to hunt the deer, probably. It ran deep into the forest, followed by the king. Soon the king lost his way and didn't know where he was. So what happened? Days and months passed and the baby birds grew up, both of them. Yeah. So one day the king of the region, as you know, kings love hunting, was on his way to hunt. Okay. So what happens? He sees a deer and rides and follows the deer. The deer, deer, not deers, the plural of deer is deer only. So the deer started running fast because they are fast runner. In order to save its life, it started running fast. Okay, and it was followed by the king. Clear? It followed the king deep into the forest. Okay, soon what happened? The king lost his way. Okay, he could not find way out of the forest. He lost his way and did not know where he was located. I think we are clear up to here. Yeah. Now we'll move on to the third para. He rode on for a very long time till he came to the other side of the forest. Okay, he continued riding till he reached to the other side of the forest. Now it must be a very tedious, tiresome ride, isn't it? He kept riding on and on and on till he reached to the other side of the forest. Can you imagine? He reached one side of the forest and then he lost his way. He kept riding till he reached the other side of the way, all because he lost his way. Okay, very tired by now, he got off his horse. So basically, probably one would get tired by this tedious and heavy ride. So he was very tired now, and he got down his horse and sat down under a tree. Clear? He sat down under a tree. Okay, that stood near a cave. You remember that cave? One of the birds, Okay, I'll tell you this one as we follow up. Let's maintain that, you know. So suddenly he heard a voice cry out. As the king was sitting under this tree, he heard a voice crying out, "Quick, hurry up! There's someone under the tree. Come and take his jewels and his horse. Hurry, or else he'll slip away." Okay, the king was hearing. The king was amazed. He was kind of shocked. He looked up and saw a big brown bird on the tree under which he was sitting. So, the king tried to observe who was making this sound. At first, he was amazed. It took him by surprise as to who was making these comments. Okay. As he tried to figure out who this was and he ran his eyes up and down, he saw that there was this big brown bird sitting on top of the tree. He also heard faint noises I'll repeat this. He also heard faint noises issuing from the cave. Okay, he was also hearing at the same time few disturbing low tone sound emerging from the cave. Okay, so he quickly got on his horse and rode away as fast as he could, because those were disturbing sound and it kind of triggered an alarm that he has got to run away in order to save his life, right? So this was his encounter with one of the birds whose mother died on that storm, right? These two birds were blown away. Where did they fail? Where did they fail? Did I mention yet? Think about it. I told you in the beginning of the story, let me repeat this once again for you. One of the bird landed outside a Rishi's ashram. The other one landed near a cave where a gang of robbers live. Here. One of the birds landed near a cave where a gang of robbers live. The other landed outside a rishi's ashram. Right? So this is one. Who do you think this bird might be? The first one, which was intimidating, trying to scare away the king and made him run away for his money. Probably, most probably, this would be that bird who found his stooge, his shelter nearby the cave. Okay, since those caves were inhabited by a gang of robbers, he imitated the robbers and learned all the rude bad behavior. Okay, so what happens next? Let's see. The king was amazed. We are here. The king was amazed to hear a similar voice again. Again, in the following paragraph, I'm just giving you preface of what will happen in the following paragraph. Clear? Here we are. I'll just read it out for you. The king was amazed to hear a similar voice again. Okay. He came to know the bird's true story. So he'll find the bird's story. He met the rishi who explained the behavior of each bird. So he'll, again, as the story progresses, he'll find another bird speaking with him and he'll understand the bird's story. Okay, each bird will have their own story, the two. Then he'll meet the rishi who will explain the behavior behind each story. Okay, so we are not explaining any further. We will continue explaining this lesson in the next class. I explained 3 paragraphs today. What I want you to do is you go through this explanation once again, try reading them again. If you come across any big word or a word whose meaning is unknown to you, what you'll do is, like I've said, you'll use your own teacher at home called dictionary and then try and find the meaning of the words by turning on the pages. Write the meaning of the word, learn it, and then try and use it in the form of sentence. Okay, this will enhance your vocabulary, make you confident, and help you speak English in a much better way. Okay, speaking English, writing English, learning English is all about practice. The more you learn, the more confident you get and better things start happening. Okay, so what did we learn in today's class? If I quickly summarize for you, is we learned the story of, let me get into first page. Okay, just give me a second. We learned the story called A Tale of Two Birds. A tale of what? Two birds, right? Wherein we saw that a mother bird lived with her 2 children in a forest, in a big tree. One day a violent storm struck and the mother bird died, unfortunately. But the 2 birds were blown away somewhere. One lived near a rishi's ashram, the other one lived near a camp inhabited by robbers, isn't it? As time went by, they grow up and certain things will follow. Okay, so with this we come to conclusion of today's class. What I want you to do is summarize them, revise them again, try to read, and also remember that learning English requires a lot of practice. Go through them. I'm repeating the instructions once again. Go through this story once again. Try and read the paragraphs that hasn't been done by me. Explore this story. Find the words. It's an interesting piece. Alright. And since the question answer corresponding to this lesson has already been given in the digital classes through WhatsApp in the form of PDF file or Word file earlier, what I want you to do is go through them, make a written practice, make things easier, be advanced. Alright, remember, there is no substitute for hard work and practice. The more you learn, the better for you. Keep practicing. And as far as mastering English is concerned, like I've said, it's all about practice. Try speaking English with your parents, at least for 5 to 10 minutes on a certain topic. As an activity, you can read out this lesson to them, covering up the book, try to explain the summary to them. Okay, it is this simple ways that teach you English much more than any other thing. Okay, but remember, you have to come out of shell and practice. Okay, without practicing, no great thing is ever achieved and can ever be achieved. All right, so with this we come to conclusion of today's class. It was a pleasure to teach you on this digital platform. Keep learning. Goodbye.
On this digital platform.